Hey guys, today I want to talk about a fun little trap I did for our first little dungeon with my new group. You can see that it's kind of a sandstone cavern type thing, and the components of the tile, I've got my party over here, and then there was this fire pit that I have that's blocking most of the path through the tunnel. And then there's some remnants of a track. This was a mine, and there's some remnants of a track I did. And then I had a broken down mine cart in the corner there. So the party, wary of this situation, they decide to do a perception check. And, of course, they notice the fire and everything. But they do see something lurking back behind the cart. So what I usually do is, unless they get a clear view of something, I'll use a filler piece so that they know there's something back there, but they may not know what it is. Like they just got just barely a glance of something back there. So they do that. So they do know there is something back there. So I like this trap because it's clear that something is not right. It's not a hidden trap. It's not they have to find it. They stumble upon it and they know that something's wrong. They do some arcana and they realize that this fire pit, there's some kind of magical fire in the fire pit. So it would be very difficult to extinguish. But the party tank just decides to try to squeeze through. So there's this area here where he can just kind of squeeze around. So as he starts to try, a huge fireball erupts out of that fire pit, engulfing him. And the way I did it was, if I rolled a hit, they would lose half their hit points, so they'd be bloodied. And if I rolled a hit, then they would lose all their hit points and be on fire. So basically, the fighter tries to kind of skirt around and gets hit with the fireball, falls back on fire. The party freaks out and they kind of run back, back into the other room. But one of them does come in and grab the poor fighter and drag him back. You try to put him out, tries to put him out and drag him back, and so they can recover him. So there's a nice situation set up here. They know that this trap is extremely dangerous. It's not they're going to take a few D6 and have a few hit points off and then come to the other side and then they got to fight what's over here. The challenge is not what's fighting over here, because what's over here is actually just a few minions that are just pulling the lever for the trap to activate it. So this is just easy as pie encounter over here. The real trick to this encounter is this trap. So the players have to figure out how to get behind the trap. So while this character is dragging the poor fighter back, the kobolds who are hiding behind this minecart start lobbing javelins at the poor player, and they actually hit him a couple times. As no good deed goes unpunished. So they managed to drag the poor guy back and get him a little bit of healing. So now they've got him back, but they have the same problem of how the heck are we going to get around this trap? So they decide to try to attack the kobolds. So what happens is the mage casts an area effect and it manages to hit the kobolds behind the cart, and they've knocked out the trigger of the trap, although they don't really know that. So they try to buff up the rogue, and the rogue sneaks around and finds out that what happened on the other side, and that there was a pull lever that the kobolds could use to make the trap set off. So then now they've managed to get past the trap. But it was a really fun encounter because one, they know that something's not right. When they come into this tile, they see this in the middle of their path, so they know that's not kosher, that's not good. So something's going on. So they're being careful. I've got an encounter back here of minions, so they're not particularly dangerous, but it's getting past this to get to them is very difficult, and they're triggering the trap, so you got to get them somehow. So the area effect was a very good way to do that. But if the trap had missed, or only did half damage to the character, the one character could have got across and then tried to fight, and then if the others tried to come across, the kobolds might have set the trap off again, engulfing the other players. But So it can be really fun role playing. They also, oh, when the trap set off, they also heard the the kobold snickering and the evil snicker that they have when they set off their trap. So it's a lot of fun. So think about when you're doing your dungeons and stuff. Think about ways that you can have traps like this that aren't necessarily that you got to do a trap check every section of the dungeon. You got to try to find traps, but traps that are apparent like this, that are this isn't right, but that can be a real challenge to just get past the trap because it was so dangerous for these first level characters. And you can carry that on into all different levels, which I have done. And I've taken criticism for how dangerous I have some of my traps, but it really brings the fun in the game because they can't just ignore the trap. Like the characters can't just say, oh, we'll just take some damage and heal through it, and then we'll be here and we'll just kill these minions and we'll be done. The real challenge of this encounter was getting past that trap because it's so dangerous. So once someone sees this huge fireball come up to the ceiling and the fighter fall back on fire with no hit points and just crumples to the ground, nobody else wants to go through this trap, until they can think about it and figure out how to get through it. So, there can be multiple ways to do it, but for a first level group, this was a real challenge and a fun encounter. Even though I just had 3 minions back here. Which normally they just would have beat the snot out of, in 2 seconds. But with the trap, it just really made it a challenging encounter. So think about that with your traps. Now, don't always just give a little bit of damage and okay, there was your trap, that's it. Have interesting effects or challenges with your traps and make them so it's a major obstacle, not just another skill check to or just soak up the damage and we'll heal through it. Kind of trap, but really dangerous, so that the players have to get around it. So there we go. That was a fun little encounter I had. I wanted to show that to you, and I'll see you next time. Take care. DM Scotty signing off. Hey guys, if you're really digging these videos and would like some more information or to talk to other crafters, look at the link below in the description, and you can join my forum on the DM's Craft. We'd love to have you, and I'll see you there.